Bayern Munich came away with an away win against Real Madrid in the Champions League quarterfinal in the first leg. This game for Real Madrid really important. The second leg is not going to be at your home stadium, so the first leg you have to put as many goals and opportunities that you can, and you must. You definitely don't want to go away in the second leg being down by a goal. It's harder. Everyone knows it. Everyone prefers having to play at home in the second leg. That's just how it works. You don't want to be in the way end with the pressure and the intensity of the other team's home fans. And Madrid didn't do that. Madrid couldn't get a win after chance after chance. They still only managed to get one goal and then conceding two from Luis Diaz and Harry Kane. Mbappe only getting one. More goals should happen for Real Madrid. You can say the same thing about Bayern Munich. It wasn't the greatest game for Madrid, but it was definitely a game where they could have scored 4 goals, but it just wasn't the case. Here we can see the starting line for Real Madrid. Lunin's taking over since Thibaut has been hurt he's going to be out basically until the end of the season. Trent, who's been back from injury and finally starting getting into games now. Rodrygo hoisted in the back with Valverde, Carreras, Fede, Thiago Pires becoming the youngest player in Real Madrid history to start a quarterfinal. That's unbelievable. Tchouameni, Rodrygo, Mbappe, and Vini Jr. Coming to this, I see people saying, "Oh, Mbappe shouldn't start. Madrid should be playing how they were before last week against Mallorca." And yeah, they looked great. Fede was more in that attacking role, more, he was playing everywhere, really, Fede. And now in this match, you didn't really see that type. I'm not saying he played bad, but it wasn't, to the same aspect as he was playing these past couple weeks with Mbappe being hurt. But yeah, and then you have obviously the Bayern Munich lineup. You have Neuer, you have Upamecano, Jonathan Tah, Kimmich, Gnabry, Kane, Luis Diaz, Olise, Lamer, Stasnic, and Pavlovic. Bayern have a really strong team. Their bench and their starting 11 is really, you have Olise, who's been performing out of his mind. You have Harry Kane, Luis Diaz, who's been probably the best front three in Europe right now. Upamecano, who's really came up and shown the center back that he's capable of. Neuer, his aging does not matter for him. He's performing like the best goalkeeper in the world right now, especially in this match. He's been in and out swapping with the youngster, the backup goalkeeper. But Bayern Munich, they are different from what they were a few seasons ago. From 2020, 2022, they are a way different team. Coming to this match, Luis Diaz starts off getting a goal right before the half. Great 1-2 play. Madrid just terrible sloppy defending, letting the balls through, missing key passes. It was just really just embarrassing for Real Madrid. Bayern could have scored 2 goals off 2 mistakes from Madrid players. But then finally they broke the back line and managed to score and get one away. Second goal, Harry Kane, literally straight up 30 seconds after the second half started. Harry Kane gets a beautiful goal. Another mistake. Just no help. Really, just no help for anybody. And it's just sloppy playing. This entire game, Madrid just looked like a team that they were just not capable of. They just looked like a team that were not capable of doing anything. Bayern were pressing them. Madrid had no space to create. They had no space to pass, really, and they got nervous and let easy balls through, let easy balls get taken, and Bayern Munich was just attacking. In some situations, when there was a goal kick, the ball would still be playing in Madrid's back end, with the Bayern Munich players just pressing them and having full control of the field. Madrid had chances where they slipped through them and had, could have scored, but for most of the game, I think Bayern Munich really had Madrid locked, and it was hard for them to get out of that space. For Valverde, Carreras, Thiago Pires, a lot of these players that couldn't break it. But it finally changed when the substitution of Jude Bellingham, which we'll get later on. And obviously the goal from Kylian Mbappe, from Trent, beautiful from Trent, amazing pass. And then Mbappe with the tap in. Neuer, he could have saved that, and then Brahim finished it off, but it still counted as Mbappe's goal. These two situations you have to convert. You really, really have to do. I get for Mbappe, maybe it might have been a tough angle, but Vinny, you could have chipped him. I get Neuer was pressing him. Neuer, he stood his ground and made Vinny have no space. But during the entire run, maybe the first touch when he received the ball was bad. He made it more to the right side instead of going more, straight off. But man, you have to convert these. You really do. And that's going to haunt Madrid in the second leg, especially. just yeah, it's just horrible. And then this was the actual video of the miss. Shoots it wide, hits the side of netting. You have to convert those. You really do. Madrid had so many chances to score many goals, and they just couldn't convert, especially in an important game where you're gonna be playing away next week. Tchouameni receives yellow. He's not gonna be playing the next match. Camavinga's probably gonna have to step in and play. There's rumors of him leaving, rumors of how people saying that they don't like it, he's not a huge fan, whatever. Tchouameni's out. You got to figure out what you're gonna do in the midfield. He says he doesn't know. He's just running, but he's gonna be out, and that's gonna be a huge factor. Luis Diaz says deciding to join Bayern was the right choice. Liverpool sold the wrong winger. Slot loves Cody Gakpo for Liverpool, and he is just not performing at all. And Luis Diaz, he's showing that he's the best winger in the world right now. It's crazy. It's crazy how Liverpool just let go of this guy. Shocking. Really, really shocking. And he's just doing amazing there in Germany. So huge on for Luis Diaz. This, I don't know how it's a red. I was watching the game. I told my uncle, I'm like, that's a red. Studs up, clean on his calf. I'm like, that's a red. Come on, man. Like, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Sure, you can say it's unintentionally. Every tackle you do is unintentionally. He goes in with his studs up. For me, that's a clear red for Jonathan Tah. At least he got a yellow, but I just think it's really sloppy mistake from that, and it should have been accounted for. For me, I like Dart at this match. He gets a lot of backlash, but I just think that he's a player that you need these other players around him to do their job for him to successfully be that key factor and that playmaker that he is. Earlier in the season, you can see him linking up amazingly with Kylian Mbappe, and these past, I want to say since towards the end of Xabi's reign, and then completely after, it just really hasn't been the same for Arda. But he's 100% capable of being, that front attack player or that front playmaker player for the attackers. And convert. He's an amazing. You can see during the games he loves to switch it up, loves to change the ball, the course of the ball. Let's say he's on one side of the pitch, finds a gap, does a spin, does a dribble, and then changes. Switches the ball from one field to the other. So I think he's really good on that. He's really good in dribbling, really good at finding space. He's really good at his touches, and he needs help. I don't think he plays bad. I just think that you need other players around him to link up well, and he will be amazing. That's how I think about Arda. But this man, Bayern had Madrid locked. The second he came in, he really changed the impact of the pitch. I've always said he and Arda can't play well together. They've shown it many times. But Jude Bellingham on his good days, I've said all the time, the best midfielder in the world. You can see his touches, his playmaking, he wins the ball, keeps the ball. He's really well. And today shown it. For me, I wasn't against him not starting. Just came back from injury. It happened to City a few months ago, not the one from the round of 32, but earlier on in the season. The one where Rodrygo scored, but they lost. Was it that game? I forgot, but I think it was that game. But Jude Bellingham looked really bad that game, and he just came back from an injury. So coming to this match, I'm like, I don't think he should start. He just came back from injury, hasn't had a lot of game time against Mallorca. Really didn't do much. I'm fine with Thiago Pirac starting because Thiago Pirac is a player. He's probably not better on the ball than Bellingham or Camavinga, but Pirac is really good outside the ball. He finds the spaces, he makes the runs, he finds the gaps, and helps create. That's the type of player Thiago Pirac is. On the ball, he's not a Pedri, he's not a Bellingham on the ball, but he's a really good technical player to have in the field. But in a night like this, you really do need a Jude Bellingham to step up, and that's what he did. Trent, that's what he did, and hopefully in the second leg, that's where you convert it. Thiago Pirac becomes the youngest player. I stated that earlier. It's amazing for Real Madrid. Madrid are always known for not using their young talents. So Arbeloa, who's been using Diego Aguado, who's been using Thiago Pirac, Manuel Angel. I know I'm forgetting a few players, but it's great. Not Chema. Sestero, but you like to see these academy players. There are hidden talents in La Fabrica, and I've said it many, many, many times that it's the most underrated academy. No one wants to hear it. I knew Nico Pez way before he hit mainstream. I said this kid is gonna be something. I saw him rotting in the Madrid bench, scoring that goal against Napoli, and I'm like, listen, this kid is gonna be something. Um, and when the season after they sell him to Como, I'm like, he's gonna be the best player in Serie A. I literally stated that, and that's what he did, and he made a name for himself, and now one of the best midfielders in the world. La Fabrica has talent. They just got to use it. They have to. And a manager like Arbeloa, who's gonna use it, but who knows if he's gonna keep his job, and who knows if the other manager who's coming in, who knows who it's gonna be, is gonna still use that. You don't know. You had really good players in the academy, and you just gotta convert it. Look at Victor Muniz. Look at Jacob Ramon. Look at who am I missing? Who else is balling? Chama Andres. It's been a little soppy lately, but he's shown what he's capable of. But this player right here, I've always never disliked Mendy. I just thought that Madrid could have found someone more than him. But in this past, when he was playing earlier in the season, I said, man, this guy's good, man. He still got it. He's just really injury prone, extremely injury prone. He played 2 matches with Madrid a few weeks ago, injured right again. I like Carreras. I really like Carreras. And I think out of the backline signings Madrid made, out of probably most of the signings Madrid made this season, I think he's the best one. Better than Hoyson, better than Franco. Who am I missing? Trent, he's been injured as well, but I do really like Carreras. But this guy Mendy, man, he's really hard to get dribble past by. He's better defensively, I think. I just think Carreras is more technical in a way. He pressures high, helps Vini in the wing, but Mendy is really strong in the back line, and I feel like you need someone like this in the returning leg. Yesterday, Carreras made a lot of mistakes. He's made mistakes against Atletico. He's made mistakes against a lot. But on his good day, Carreras is a really, really good left back. But I think as of right, for now, Mendy is a solid option and deserves to start, I think, against Bayern. Put him in La Liga for a few minutes in the second half. Forgot who they versed, but put him in, I think it's Girona, and see how it is. Because I think he's really, well, in the past 15 games, no one has managed to dribble past Mendy in 15 games of he started. So, like I said, always injured, but he's really reliable. Mendy is. He's back in training. You'd love to see that. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there. This man I want to talk about. A lot of backlash from him this entire year, from Liverpool fans, from Barca fans, from just in general. Everyone knows he's not the greatest offensively. You saw it this match, maybe. He didn't get past dribbled once, but you can see during attacks from Luis Diaz or whoever, I don't think he was outperformed. There were situations where Trent won the ball, and there were situations where Trent didn't look good defensively in a way. But he is amazing of pushing up. He's amazing of the counterattacks. He's amazing of getting the ball up. His crossing. That's, but the thing is with Madrid, you have no one in the box. And that's what annoys me. I think if Madrid can solve that solution, they can be unstoppable. If it's going to be Gonzalo Garcia, if it's going to be another striker, if it's going to be whoever, you just need more in the box presence to help Trent get the ball in there. But yeah, for me, he didn't play bad this game. I thought he was actually pretty solid and played better in the second half. But you need more box presence for him to perform, I think, well during those 3 games, 3 assists. You love to see it. He is known for assists. He's known for his crossing. He's known for his passing and his long balls. So, I want to see more. Back-to-back 90s, 26 against Atletico. Hope he doesn't get hurt. Hope he doesn't get injured. I do really like Trent. I really do. I wasn't a fan of the signing back then because I think Madrid. Um, I said in under Ancelotti, I didn't think it would have worked. Under Xavi, I thought it really was gonna work, but that's a whole different scenario situation. So hopefully, it works here. Tuchel was at the Bernabeu. He's you can't drop Trent. No matter you can't if you have a third. It was a 35 or 45 man England squad. Dropping Trent is more of a I don't want to say an ego thing, but it's more of a you know you don't want to pick him because you don't like him, not because of his ability. He has the ability. He's shown it for years in Liverpool. He's shown he's the best right back in the world at certain times. Just because you don't like the guy, you got to put him in the World Cup squad. There's no way you don't. So I'm hoping Tuchel stops being brain dead and selects Trent. Because not selecting him is more, it's sad because it shows that you know Mark comes out and states that since he had an argument with Arbeloa, which is why he's disappeared from the Madrid games these past couple of weeks. So you can take this with a grain of salt. Yes, he hasn't played a lot lately. LG City, let's go. Every time Madrid lose, a headline pops in with an argument within the players or the staff or anything really. So you can always take this with a grain of salt. This could be true because he hasn't really shown. I know he got hurt a few weeks ago, which is why he didn't start against Elche, I believe. Um, but yeah, you can take this with a grain of salt. Could be true, could be not, but I'm hoping it's not. You want a good dressing room, so. And this I wanted to bring in. This is a player I wish he played for Real Madrid, Mats Hummels, and you can see during them singing, him just watching the fans singing, admiring, the stadium and the fans. A player everyone signed in career mode during his prime years. Wish he played for Madrid, but everyone loves the Madrid atmosphere. Next game is Girona. For me, 7 points, 8 games left. It's not over. The league is not over. It's just really hard. You have to win all these next 8 games. You have to hope that Barca drop points. Your best bet of Barca dropping points was Madrid, that they can reverse in May, and that Let's Go match that they played last week. It's gonna be hard. It's really gonna be hard, especially Barca having an amazing record at the Camp Nou. That's pretty much just guaranteed wins for them. So it's gonna be really hard for Madrid to try to break that gap. That 7 point gap in so little games left. So we'll see what happens next.